Hello, in this video, we show several very useful functions for operations like counting, summary, and aggregate in R. So there are various kinds of operations and very basic for the data analysis is for getting summary or counting information by several kinds of variables. So in R, for example, if we want to show the summary of several variables, so we can use summary function. And summary function is a generic function, so which means it will detect which kinds of object in the summary. So if the object is a data frame, and the summary will show the summary information of each column or each variable of this data frame. And if it is a vector, the summary will check if it is a character vector or numeric vector and will show the corresponding information. And aggregate is very useful because it can get summary information by fact variables, by different categorical variables, for example, by the gender or by the age or by other information. And another very simple function is called table. And table is just to show the counts by a list of one variable or several variables. So next we will show several complete examples in RStudio. And you can also download these files from this website's download menu. You can find R source files link. Then we go to this file and to the place for summary and counting data using summary, aggregate, and table. So first we will show summary function. So for example, this is a vector with 101 and 202 and 303. So there are 600 elements in this vector. For example, we show X. There's about 600 elements. Then you can use summary X. So because this is a numeric vector, and summary will show the numeric information, the minimum, maximum, and the median value and the mean value, and the first quantile and the third quantile. So which means first quantile means 25% of all the elements will be lower than this value. And the third quantile means 70% of the elements in this vector will be lower than this value, right? And next, for example, if we change or transform this vector as a factor type of variable, we use factor X. Then we show X information. Now it's a level 1, 2, 3. So this is a factor object, right? Then if we use summary for this vector, so now it will get such kind of information. So 1, 2, 3, like a categorical variable, right? So each category has 100, 200, and 300 observations. So summary will find this each class of the object in the function. And next we set the working directory and set the column type, then read a CSV file into a data frame called grade. Then we show this grade. There are 20 observations for the student's grade information. And if we use str function, so function will show the structure information of this data frame. So this data frame has 20 observations with 10 variables. And for each variable, the first, for example, student ID is a character 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first name, last name, both a character and a gender and a country also character. Then for the age, math and physics, chemistry, the numeric. Because this is the scores and age also numeric, right? Then the date is a character because the testing date. So for different variables in the data frame, if we just use summary of this data frame, then we will see how it is going. So now R will show each variable's information. So for the character, it will show how many observations, there are 20, and class and mode, which the variable store in this variable's type. And this is also for the gender, for the country, but for the age and scores for the mathematics, physics, chemistry, because I will find they are numeric. So they will show minimum and first quantile, third quantile, mean value, median value, and maximum. So summary is very easy to use because I will find the most appropriate output for the data object. So next we will show how to use aggregate. We set a working directory and read a CSV file, then create a data frame called HGNDF. Then we show this data frame. They are very small data frame with 7 observations and 5 variables. And for the observation for the variables like hair, gender, their character, black hair, blonde hair, and for the gender, male, female, and for the number, with an integer type of variable, and for the name, character, and for the group, also integer, 1, 2 by group name. So say now if we want to get the number, and for the median number for each grouping, and the grouping is by gender and by hair. So say we want to know that how many observations, in different group by gender and by hair type. Then we can use aggregate function. So aggregate this data frame's variable called number, use this data frame, then dollars this number, this variable called number, right? Number. So this is the object we want to use aggregate upon, because we only want to know the number variable here. So we set x equals data frame's number variable, then option called by in this function. The by usually is with a list. Then inside of this list, we will set 2 variables here. The one is gender variable, second is hair variable. Then the third option is the function. We set a median because we want to know the median value. So just run. So now we can see for group 1 and group 2, group 1, group 2 are 2 variables because we did not set any name, so R will use by default output of the group 1, group 2, and with the X here. So their median value, for example, the female with black hair, median 7. For the male with black hair, median 1.5, and so on. But this is not perfect, so usually we will set the name for the output format. Then we can use x equals list number. We set here number. Also, x equals a list option. So list number equals this variable. And by list also we set gender and hair equals their corresponding variable. And the function is median, the same. So now the output will be much better. So now the output is number, is the output which we are interested in the number. Then 2 group is gender and hair. And another way by using aggregate for this operation is that you can use a formula here with a tilde symbol. On the left side is the number which we want to use aggregate upon, and on the right side is two categorical variables that we will set as the group based upon. And data is this data frame, and the function is median. This formula is quite similar as other kinds of, for example, linear regression or ANOVA in R operation use the formula for the left side and the right side. Then if we run this statement, the result will be the same as we doing the previous statement using the by list option with the name setting. An aggregate is also useful, can return how many counts for each kinds of group. So say here we want to know how many observations by these two variables called gender and hair. Then we can use aggregate, and here X will be a list with the count equals the rip from 1 to the n row of this data frame. So this is quite tricky because we want to know the count. So count we just use rip 1 to n row to this data frame. So which means we will rip all the ones for the rows of this data frame. Then inside the function will be sum, because we will sum get how many ones, right? And by the list is the same as before for these two variables. So we can run this, and now the first and the second column the same as before for the gender and the hair group, and the third column is the count, how many counts, how many observations. And for getting the counts of each values in a variable, you can also use the table function. So say we want to get the counts of hair variable. Then we can just use table of this variable, data frame $hair. So for different colors of hair, how many counts are shown. And if we want to get the counts based on two variables categorization, so you can also use the list option inside the table function. So list gender equals gender, hair equals hair. They will run, and the result will be quite clear. For the row is for the gender, and for the column is for the hair. This is a contingency table for hair and gender categorizations counts. Thanks for watching.